G'day One Platoon, welcome to this video tutorial. During this period of instruction, you will be taught orders and words of command. The reason you're being taught this is because this is fundamental knowledge and will determine how effectively you give orders and call words of command. Okay, so you've been in cadets for a year now, and currently your main job as a cadet was to listen to instructions from your NCOs, take notes during class, pass your Maroon Beret, your Silver 303, your Gold Falcon, and do good drill. But what you'll find is, after this term, you'll enter into the NCO world of cadets, and cadets will be a very different dynamic for you. It will be a very different perspective. Because you'll have to teach lessons, you will have to give instructions, and you'll have to supervise cadets. And that might feel like a different experience first, right? But you'll get used to it with time and practice. So this lesson is geared towards giving you some tools to prepare for being an NCO. So try and absorb as much as you can from this lesson. There was a practical element planned for this lesson that would have helped you a lot more, but that can't be going ahead because of the current situation. So try and listen as much as you can in this lesson. Let's get straight in about it. Okay, so orders. Orders are instructions, as you already know. They can be given in a barracks environment, so like at parade nights, in a field environment like at bivouacs, or anywhere deemed necessary by an NCO. Words of command, however, are drill related orders. So you've done drill before, so it's like when you're on a parade ground and there's an instructor at the front and they're calling orders for you to do, so like drill movements, explicitly on the parade ground and specifically formatted, and we'll go over the format later on in this lesson. Okay, so we're starting off with orders. So the first part of orders, not the first part, one of the kinds of orders that you can get is a snap order. What is a snap order? It's a brief and concise order. A brief and concise order. It's given out for simple tasks, and it's given out on the spot. This next example, you might have experienced it at least once throughout your time at cadets. Let's say you are at the lockers before opening parade, and an NCO comes to you and says, "You're going to be right marker," and that's like an example of a snap order. So not much thought has gone into it. They just saw you there, they've given you the order, and it was quick, it was brief, and it was simple, right? So it's a snap order. It's a name followed by an instructions. Moving on to a formal order. So, what is a formal order? It's a structured order given for complex tasks that are done over an extended period of time. So, these are orders that will cover the conduct of an activity that may go for 3 hours or 4 hours, like a long activity, so like NavX or DayX, NightX on your bivouac or AFX, where a lot of things can happen between those times. So orders have to be given to contain events, to manage people, and to instruct about how the activity will be running. So this is like your SMEAC, so very detailed, logical progression of orders that are given over like 10 minutes that tick every single box and give you all the information that you need to do an activity or to approach something big. So it's for activities that have phases. There's a nice meme there for you to relate to. Alright, so moving on to the second part of this lesson, which is words of command. So as we talked briefly about before, words of command are orders for troops on a parade ground to conduct drill movements, right? So some common ones that we can brainstorm right now, you've done basic drill, so It's a quick march, left turn, right turns, turns on the march, about turn, salutes. All these stuff are drill movements that are given or called or instructed as a word of command. And if you haven't picked it up already, you'll probably know after this that most words of command follow a sequence. So they're not just called out randomly, like casually, like a normal conversation. They follow like a certain pattern of how they're called and what each part contains. Okay, let me give you, and this pattern is often in the form of a question mark. So let me give you an example of right dress, right? So let's say you're on the parade ground and I'm the instructor and I want to right dress you. You're at attention facing the front. What I would say is this: 1 platoon, right dress. Now you'd see I said it in that specific way, right? I could have said it like 1 platoon, right dress, quickly and in a boring way like that, but I said it like 1 platoon, right dress, and that way I said it follows the format of a question mark. It's the way that we like to teach it in this unit. So when I said 1 platoon, it was like at the start of the question mark, and when I said right, it was like the curve of the question mark. Dress was like the dot at the end, where I quickly ended it in a brief and concise way. Remembering also to be very loud when giving this. So like the 3 parts of the order that I gave in the question mark, we can learn more about these 3 parts separately. So the first part that I said was 1 platoon. It's the indicative, so it identifies a unit about to receive an order. So it could be platoon, guard, or squad, right? You've practiced before. They use squad, demo squad, etc. So it identifies a unit, and that's the start of the question mark. The second part is the cautionary. It allows the unit that's being addressed to prepare for the final movement. So it's drawn out, like quick, about, left, right, like that. Just like the curved part of a question mark. So remember that? It should be loud, clear, and drawn out. Just remember, it should be drawn out. Now to the last part, the executive. The executive is the final part of the order, like the dot at the end of the question mark. It should be loud, short, and sharp. It should be said quickly. So turn said as turn, march said as march, dress said as dress.